How should Christian women live within Paul's dictate about what women should do within the church?
A lot of times there's a lot of questions because the Bible is very clear, and Paul writes about this, that women should not speak in church. They should not hold senior leadership roles in church and things like that. And this is a pretty hot topic. And so context is important. What Paul's talking about here, and he talks about this with praying in tongues as well, just so we can add another caveat to this. What's happening here, if you actually dig into historical context, was there was a time where women were would get up and they would basically pontificate or lead or say things improperly, right? And so there is a natural order that God has set things in. As a husband is supposed to be a priest of his home, and then there's a wife, and we're supposed to, as husbands, submit to God, and a wife's supposed to submit to us. And there's a natural order that things have to be in, and Paul trying to bring order to the new church. And so a couple things I think that's important here. There are multiple women, that are called out in Paul's letters as doing incredible things, as speaking, as sharing the gospel. So you can't have one without the other, right? A lot of times we want to paint with things with a broad stroke without actually taking context into point here. Paul also talks about that if you pray in tongues, it should have an interpreter in the New Testament, right? Well, then he also says in another part, well, I pray in the Spirit more than all of you. You should pray in the Spirit all the time, pray without ceasing for the building up of your self-edification. And so does Paul also mean that I can't pray in tongues unless I have somebody who's with me to interpret 24/7? Well, no. What he's saying is, I don't want you to get up and pray in tongues on a Sunday service and everybody else in the audience going, what the heck is going on? What is this person saying? So what Paul's trying to do is trying to bring order.